sinners, and saints. Dust off those horns and halos. It's time for Aloud After Dark.
For the life of me, I cannot figure out what I'm going to wear to happy hour. I don't know if I should just go with my basic black, or should I try maybe navy? I'm not in the mood for bright colors or anything like that, but I don't usually wear a lot of bright colors anyway because, superficially speaking, bright colors make me look fat. I'm already fat enough. I don't need to look fat if I can help it. What am I going to wear? Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm already late for something that's not scheduled. What's up with that? I don't know. Well, I hope you're doing better than I am, sinners and saints, while I'm talking to you guys and trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to wear to go get drunk. I mean, seriously, what the hell? I guess I'm trying to impress somebody. Well, I guess there is one guy that I'd like to impress, but he's already married, so that doesn't really matter. And you all know, I've been quite honest about it, haven't I? That I have no desire to be in a relationship of any kind. Well, a sexual one would be fine. No strings attached, and you don't come up in my house. We'll be fine. We'll come somewhere else.
What?
Oh, Jesus. I do want to thank Steven for this morning's hangover. Good job, bro. Knocked my ass out. Really, you did. Oh, and we're going to do it again tonight, probably. Hopefully I won't drink until my lips turn blue, but, that's a different story altogether. Oh, so how y'all doing, sinners and saints? I hope you're feeling well and sexy, and I hope you're horny if you want to be. I am very horny, and it is thanks to the Mohawk man, but I talk enough about him. It's just that he was just even more delicious this morning when I saw him on his knees, stocking that shelf, rearranging things. I still cannot figure out exactly why he pushes my buttons, just that he does. Anyway, enough of that. So, this week has been a clusterfuck of a week. It's been awful. And I may have brought this up before. I don't really remember, but I'm going to bring it up again. And I'm going to start with just me. If that sounds self-indulgent, well, duh, this is my podcast. Of course it's self-indulgent. I wonder sometimes, do you all think I'm crazy? Seriously, do you all think I'm crazy? Some people think it's nuts for me to be so honest on this podcast. But how else are you going to be true to all of you and to myself if I'm not being truthful and honest about how I feel and what I lust for and what I want? But I do wonder sometimes, and especially this week, where it just feels like maybe I'm going crazy, or I'm a few bricks shy of a load, or the noggin's just not working the same. And I know that with age, our mind is stressed and tested and challenged. Well, I've always heard the saying that if you're asking yourself if you're crazy, you're most likely not, because someone who is crazy, they don't know they're crazy, and they wouldn't be asking such questions. It's just one of those things this week especially that I've been dwelling on because I seem to be forgetting things that normally I wouldn't forget, but that could be just because I'm distracted, or I just don't care about what I'm doing, or perhaps it is something medical, physical, that's causing me to feel this way. But I wonder, do you all ever question yourself, your own sanity? I mean, I've talked to people at happy hour, for example, and in the conversation, I'll look at them and I'm like, oh my God, you're fucking nuts. And I wonder if people think the same thing of me. Well, of course, some people do, I know, but anyway. But I've just seemed to have noticed a lot more, even in the way we're driving. People are driving more insanely now than they ever have before. And I really do openly and honestly wonder if COVID has messed up our brains. Did it do something to a lot of us that has made us mentally, what's the word, warped or something? It just seems to me that it changed everything. And it really did, I guess, if you really think about what happened back then. And I just remember there was such an urgency during the lockdowns that people wanted to break free of that. And I kept thinking, my God, you all wouldn't be able to handle prison, would you? If you committed a crime, if you couldn't handle being in your own home for a couple of months, I don't know what you would do in a situation where you're confined to a prison for the rest of your life. Something to think about, huh? But I guess that's also the same way people think about sex, isn't it? That those of us who seem to pursue sex quite often and talk about it a lot, I guess people think that there's something mentally off about us, perhaps. Well, I guess we're all this way too. Like, if something that we love, we wonder why everybody else doesn't love it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Madonna. I love Madonna's music. And to me, I just am surprised if somebody just says they don't like her music. And I'm like, none of them, none of her songs, none of them, of all the hundreds of songs that she has released, you don't like a single one of them. And even I'll admit, while I do call her Mariah Scary, there is one song of hers that I do like. And I want to tell you what it is. It's a song called Can't Let Go. I thought that was her best song, and I do enjoy that. But other than that, all the rest of them sound the same, and I could care less. Also, I just don't like her, but, so be it. I'm sure she's losing sleep at night over some podunk hillbilly in Tennessee that doesn't like her.
Yeehaw!
But is that how we can judge our sanity? The things that we like? If people think the things that we like are weird or crazy, does that make us crazy? Once again, it's the law of averages, right? If 50.1% of people are doing a certain thing, then that's the majority of people. So that would be considered the norm, right? So I guess if 50.1% of the people were cannibals, cannibalism would be considered normal, right? I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit tipsy already. I think Steven did a good job in getting me drunk last night. I can't blame him. It's my fault. I'm the one who did the drinking, not him. But anyway, I don't know if he's working tonight. I don't think he is, but he is quite enjoyable as a bartender, I must say. And if you're listening, Steven, nice chest. Holla. I think we're all probably this way, but for me, I always think that my preferences are the best ones. I don't have a right to think that, but it's the truth. I like Diet Pepsi. And if you are a Diet Coke drinker, oh my God, I just don't know how you can handle that crap. But it's the same thing with food and our taste in clothes and everything though, right? But is that part of the spectrum of our sanity? That would mean it's all genetic. Well, I gotta say, coming from the Bible Belt here in the South, where cousins do marry cousins, you see a lot of people who we would call special. Incest is probably still alive and well here in the South. We have plenty of hillbillies that have nobody else, so they're gonna...
Yeehaw!
Oh, Lord. Ironically, I guess that's kind of inspired by royal families, right? Don't they marry within their own families? Like first cousins and such? Kind of messed up, isn't it? But there I go again, judging people. I guess I'm saying that I just have a hard time accepting that people are ignorant or, to be more cruel, stupid. I guess I'm saying that I have to believe that there has to be a genetic component to people with their intelligence. But then again, I mean, literally, I have talked to people and I think to myself, you have got the brain of a butternut squash. I mean, you're an idiot. How can you not understand certain things? And there is no answer to it, I don't think. I mean, I try my best to stay educated. I try to read. I try to understand what's happening in the world. I listen to other opinions and perspectives, and I do reach my own conclusions. And I do think that my conclusions are the correct ones. If I didn't, I wouldn't be believing those things. I wouldn't be practicing such things. I guess I could use that same conversation for people who think of homosexuality as a mental disability. I mean, look at how gay people have been treated throughout history: electroshock therapy, imprisonment, lobotomies. And that's all just because a guy likes to suck dick. Does that really sound rational to anybody? It's true about people that were left handed. Way back in older times, they viewed a person who was left handed as someone who might be insane. Just weird things that people come up with, isn't it? It's really, to me, I think that the ones who judged people as having a mental disability for being left handed or gay, they're the ones who have a mental disability, because rational thinking should provide you a way, a means to accept those types of differences. I bet you're all thinking right now that Alan has lost his marbles just by discussing this issue. But it was just something that came to mind the other day, and it kind of piqued my curiosity. That's one of the reasons why I like happy hour, especially when there are people that I don't know that come in, and just watching how they behave and interact with people. I guess I'm always trying to absorb that kind of information. And it's so funny because my own family, I live a little distance away from my parents and my brother and cousins and aunts and uncles. So I don't see them every day. I see them only on, well, holidays, of course, and some birthdays. And those times that I see them, because I haven't been exposed to them every day, I notice the differences in them. I notice their behaviors have changed. Their attitudes have changed. Their interactions with each other have changed. And I wonder if they notice the same things that I do. Or maybe they have noticed it and they think they're keeping it from me. It's one of the things that I think about when I overthink everything else. God, I wanted to just sop the Mohawk man this morning up with a biscuit. Oh my God. This morning, he was just hotter than ever. But enough about that. See, he's becoming an obsession, isn't he? I'll just say this. I did push my cart down the aisle that he was working to get a closer look at him and hope that he didn't turn around and look at me again. I know he's got to realize, or he's got to be familiar with me at this point, because it seems like I do linger in areas where he's working. And maybe that's insanity right there. You know, I'm not going to become Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, but, oh, Lord, if he was chicken wings, I'd eat him even though I'm a vegetarian. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever said right there. Did y'all notice that? That was really stupid, wasn't it? Happy hour can't get here soon enough. I was joking the other day that most people are excited about the countdown to New Year's, whereas I'm just excited about the countdown to happy hour. Oh, God, I guess that makes me sound pathetic. And I'm pretty sure that you all suspect that I have a drinking problem, but I promise you I don't. I really don't. Honestly, I don't. Trying to bring this conversation back to the subject at hand, I believe that hate is crazy. Racism is crazy. They're just pathetically useless. What good does it bring to someone's life to hate someone or to blame someone of a different race for all the problems that you have? If you can't accept responsibility for yourself and your circumstances, to me, that feels like a mental disorder. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are screaming at me right now like, what the fuck do you think you're saying? But doesn't it seem that way? Hell's bells, doing a Nazi salute. That just feels like, my God, you're fucking crazy. If you believe such an insane ideology that you are a victim because other people exist, yeah, you've got some mental problems, I believe. And I think it's even scarier that you have the ones who use that to manipulate others. And we see it even in other races now, that they seem to be racist toward their own race in some cases. It's horrifying to see that sometimes. But what are you going to do? Honestly, can we change all this? Only if individuals work to improve themselves. That's a one person at a time kind of challenge, don't you think? It's just really a sad notion that it's easier to hate people than to love them. Now, I get it, though. I get it. And I was kidding that there are people that hate me, and there are. For right or wrong, they do. And I just accept that. I mean, I can't do anything about it. You just have to move on and let that go. As long as there's peace between us and we're not bothering each other, so be it. You know, I'm okay with that. Because I hate fighting all the time. I hate everything being a Jerry Springer episode. Don't you all? Don't you hate every day waking up and thinking, what the hell's happened overnight? How could people be so stupid? How could people be blind to the truth about others? Why are they so willing to believe someone that is lying to them versus someone who speaks the truth? Isn't that crazy too? I'm beginning to think that. I guess it's ironic that last night at a happy hour, I have to question myself again as far as me talking about mental health. I just don't understand myself sometimes. And this is one of the reasons why sometimes I feel like I'm absolutely losing it. So I'm having a good time. I have a little bit of a crush on this guy, even though I have no intention of having a relationship with him. There's just a connection with him, and I'm attracted to him. Well, he, during the span of like 3-4 hours, he started talking to another friend of mine. And I could tell that this friend of mine was, well, to be honest, just trying to get into his pants, saying things. And they started talking more intimately, and they started touching each other. I became so jealous that I was losing my mind. And I would keep telling myself, why are you acting this way? You have no claim, no right to be jealous. And I just know that it stems from my low self-esteem, that I get defensive because I don't think I'm good enough in the first place. And that this guy is choosing another person over me, and it really got under my skin. I finally left, and I stupidly did not say bye to anybody before I left, but it also was just the fact that I needed to get my ass home and get to bed. And so this guy, he had texted me, hey, you just disappeared, and I didn't even get to say bye or anything. And he just said, I'm home. Hope you're having a good night. Well, I was out, so I didn't respond till today. But that's neither here nor there. I was lying in bed before I conked out, and I just was beating myself up because I don't understand why I behave this way. Why do I act like I had some sort of right to be jealous? Because I really don't. I have no claim on anybody. And even if we were dating, that doesn't give me any right to tell him who he can and cannot flirt with, speak with, or anything. So I have to wonder, why do I always behave that way? Even though I do believe it's self-esteem issues, just the feeling, once again, that it gives you that you're not good enough when you see him talking to someone else when you think he likes you. And the fact is that I'm pretty sure he does like me. And that should be sufficient for me to be satisfied and not jealous, especially when it's somebody that I'm never going to have a long-term relationship with anyway. And so, you know, maybe that's a really good sign that I need to be in long-term therapy, right? Get the old head examined and flushed out on a weekly basis, other than crazy sexed up episodes of Alan After Dark, right? Who am I kidding? Well, this has been one jacked up episode of Alan After Dark, but I hope you've had some fun, you've been entertained and challenged, maybe even horny. I doubt that, but we can always hope, right? Remember, take life by the balls and be real. We'll see you soon.